animal behavior in Baron's sad book. We talked about the innate behaviors. Today we're going to talk about learning or learned behaviors. Learning is a sophisticated process because it's more complex and it needs experience and it depends on the complexity of the brain. So as the organism has more complex brain, like mammals, humans will depend or rely more on learned behaviors. But for example, fruit flies, they don't have a complex brain. That's why they rely more on fixed action patterns or innate behaviors. First type of learned behaviors, habituation, which is the simplest form of learning. It includes the ignorance or when the organism ignores a persistent stimulus. How? For example, if you kept on yelling on a cat, in the first time the cat will run after yelling. Second time the cat will run, but after longer time. In the third time the cat won't run anymore, or the cat will ignore your stimulus because actually the cat didn't find any reward or punishment, so the cat will ignore, will get tolerated, or will be habituated to this stimulus. The second type of learning is associative learning. Associative learning is one type of learning in which one stimulus becomes linked to another. Associative learning is the learning to associate two stimuli together. The organism will have the same response to the two stimuli. There are two types of associative learning: classical conditioning or operant conditioning. Classical conditioning, studied by Pavlov. Pavlov trained dogs to associate the sound of a bell with food. Normally, the dogs salivate when they find their food. Pavlov trained dogs to give the same response to the sound of a bell because he started to produce the sound of the bell every time before offering the food. So after that, the dog will associate the sound of the bell to the food. The dog will salivate after hearing the sound of the bell because it associated or linked the sound of the bell to offering the food. The second type is operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is a type of learned behavior. It includes trial and error. It includes reward and punishment. Trial and error, reward or punishment. Those are the key words for operant conditioning. Actually, operant conditioning is the way that many trainers used to train animals. The base for most trainers to train animals. And this behavior studied by Skinner. Skinner produced Skinner box. This is the Skinner box. Skinner put a rat inside this box and lever, light, dispenser for food. By chance, while moving of the rat in the box, the rat will press on the lever. After that, the food will be offered in the dispenser. After another trial and moving of the rat will press on the lever. After pressing of the lever, the food will be offered in the dispenser. So this was like a reward for the rat after pressing on the lever. After that, the rat will associate or will link pressing on the lever to offering the food. So after that, whenever the rat wants to get food, the rat will go to press on the lever to get food in the dispenser. This is the way how all trainers or most of the trainers train animals or organisms like dolphins. They reward or they give rewards to the animal to do a certain show or to move a certain way. After that, imprinting. Imprinting is a learned behavior, learning that occurs during a sensitive or critical period in the early life. So the key word for imprinting, it doesn't occur all over the life, but it starts in early life, which is a critical period. Who studied this behavior? Lawrence. Lawrence studied this behavior. Lawrence studied this behavior in geese. He found that geese hatchlings will follow the first thing they see that moves, the first moving objects. That's why you will find the hatchlings always follow their mother. Why? Because actually their mother is the first moving object. What if you change this mother, or if you got the hatchlings and you put any other, a box for example, moving box, hatchlings will follow the moving box. This is Lawrence. He started to move in front of the hatchlings. That's why the geese followed him, because he was the first moving object. This is imprinting.